morning, boys and girls. Another day and another lesson of Sunday school on this Sunday morning, and I hope you're ready and excited because it's another exciting episode in the story of Jesus. We're going to be hearing in a little bit from chapter 5 of Mark, and Jesus having a strange meeting with a strange man, but we'll get to that in just a matter of time. Don't forget, the challenge is out there at the moment for you to think of some questions. If you have a big question about God or Jesus or anything like that, now is your time to send them in and ask. So make sure you send them through to vipnetcvprayers@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on our Facebook page and get your question through like that. The question we have for this week is a very commonly asked question, and that is, who made God? If God made the whole world and everything in it, then who made God? Well, the answer to that question is simply no one. But what do I mean? God is not a created thing. He wasn't something that was made. He is eternal. He has always existed. There has never been a time that God was not around. Psalm chapter 90 verse 2 says, "You have always been God, long before the birth of the mountains, even before you created the whole world." God was God then. There was never a time where God wasn't God, and He's what we call eternal. Now, Isaiah 40 verse 28 gives us a little bit more information. It even says this, "Don't you know, haven't you heard? The Lord is the eternal God, creator of the earth. He never gets weary or tired, and His wisdom can't be measured." If you're hearing this thinking, it doesn't make sense. How can God just always have been there? There's a part of that will kind of never make sense to us fully because we are what we call finite. That means we don't exist forever creatures. And there will be a time where we don't exist anymore, where we die. We'll be alive when Jesus is in heaven if we believe and trust in Him, but we won't be physically on the earth anymore. And there was a time where we weren't born. But with God, neither of those ends apply. He always was, He always is, He never had a maker, He is the maker. And that is the answer to who made God. So if you've got big questions like that, send them in, vipnetcvprayers@gmail.com, and we'll answer those. Speaking of Vipnet, don't forget, we've started our Pilgrim's Progress series, episode 1 and 2, up on our YouTube channel, and also try and keep putting them there on the Facebook page as well. So make sure you keep up with that and get to know the story of Pilgrim, or Christian, as he goes on his journey. The songs are going to be in the link in the description down below as per usual, but there's only going to be one video today, so you can either pause the video at this point or do the songs at the end. The choice is yours. Now, the reason there's only one video for today is we're just compressing everything together. So we're going to get straight into the big story about Jesus. Last week we heard Jesus tell that He is stronger than Satan. When people accused Him of being able to cast out, getting rid of demons, only because He had the power of Satan in Him, He told the story of how those things don't make sense. How can Satan cast out Satan? Remember, a kingdom divided against itself and all that stuff. So Jesus has said that He is more powerful than demons. But is He? When He's confronted with a whole heap of them, who will win? Have a look at this video and find out.
Jesus and His disciples sailed across Lake Galilee and came to shore near the town of Gerasa. As Jesus was getting out of the boat, He was met by a man from that town. The man had demons in him. He had gone naked for a long time and no longer lived in a house, but in the graveyard. The man saw Jesus and screamed. He knelt down in front of Him and shouted, "Jesus, Son of God in heaven, what do you want with me? I beg you not to torture me." He said this because Jesus had already told the evil spirit to go out of him. The man had often been attacked by the demon, and even though he had been bound with chains and leg irons and kept under guard, he smashed whatever bound him. Then the demon would force him out into lonely places. Jesus asked the man, "What is your name?" He answered, "My name is Lots." He said this because there were lots of demons in him. They begged Jesus not to send them to the deep pit where they would be punished. A large herd of pigs was feeding there on the hillside, so the demons begged Jesus to let them go into the pigs, and Jesus let them go. Then the demons left the man and went into the pigs. The whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and drowned. When the men taking care of the pigs saw this, they ran to spread the news in the town and on the farms. The people went out to see what had happened, and when they came to Jesus, they also found the man. The demons had gone out of him, and he was sitting there at the feet of Jesus. He had clothes on and was in his right mind, but the people were terrified. Then all who had seen the man healed told about it. Everyone from around Gerasa begged Jesus to leave because they were so frightened. When Jesus got into the boat to start back, the man who had been healed begged to go with him. But Jesus sent him off and said, "Go back home and tell everyone how much God has done for you." The man then went all over town, telling everything that Jesus had done for him.
Well, there you go. Jesus is not only stronger than demons, but he has the power to save people who are being held by demons. This is a bit of a interesting story, a crazy story, but a very true story, and a story that shows us that, yes, Jesus is more powerful than demons. If you've got more questions about Satan and demons, parents especially looking at you, I've got that video in the description down below, again, talking about Satan and demons, if you want more information on that. Or feel free to send us a question at vitnetcbprayers@gmail.com. All right, make sure you go and do the Sunday school lesson, which should be in an email that you've got, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week.